when chaos points. Ever felt like you were
Hello, beautiful evening, and welcome to another wonderful week with Ladies in Tech Africa Bootcamp. I trust that we had a wonderful weekend, and can I confirm that you can hear me loud and clear? Yes, good evening, everyone, and we are going to continue with project planning. Okay, I can see that we are all geared up for tonight's class. Oluwapelumi, Mary, Oladipupo, Dorothy, Fatima, Sarah, Rachel, Sarah, a whole lot. So we have learned so much in the past 2 weeks. With me on the coach tonight is my co-facilitator, Nancy Baba Ali. She will take us in continuation with project planning. So I would encourage every one of us to sit tight as we continue in the class. Once again, you're welcome, and we're going to have a nice time together. I will shortly hand you over to my co-facilitator, Nancy Baba Ali. Once again, you are welcome.
Hi, everybody. Uh, Good evening or good day. I think the light is bouncing off. Today we'll take off the glasses. So today's class we would continue from where we stopped, uh, which was project planning. I don't know. Can you see the screen? Can you see my screen? Not me. Okay. So I'll be doing a quick recap from where we stopped last time, if you do not mind. But first and foremost, I would like to hear from everyone, how did you see the quiz? Was it interesting? Hi, Chama. I hope you enjoyed the weekend and ready for this week. Favor, can you hear me? It would be sad if you can't. I really enjoyed my weekend. Thank you so much. I did. I really did. I'm grateful. Okay, the quiz was technical, but Oluwa Sikimi. Okay, it was interesting. It was. I missed the last class, but I got a 55. That's so beautiful, Fatima. You can do better though, and I'm impressed. I encourage you to do better, but that's a very good score too as well. Quiz was okay. Good evening. Good evening, Omo Labake. Oh, Favor said she missed the quiz. Tife, my girl, 60 over 100 per. That's it. That's it. The quiz was interesting. I got a 55. Oh, that's so beautiful. Choma. So Choma is a guru. Choma is getting 70. That is beautiful. Very impressive. Okay, I scored a 60. Wow, a lot of 80. Ajoke. Wow, 65. You guys, I am so. Gloria got 100. Omata Sola 70. But you did really great. You really did great. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it's just wow. I am really impressed with the scores. Chinyenye 90, Kinde 80, 75 to Sarah. Angel said she missed the test. I'm sorry about that. But then I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see that everybody is carried along. Everybody really understood the classes. It really says a lot. It shows that you have been listening and you've been understanding. And I'm really glad. I'm really impressed with the scores. And it's not just because it's a quiz. It's not to define who you are. It's to see the level of understanding. And because of maybe you get below the average doesn't mean that you're not doing great. It means you're at a very amazing level right now. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad. Omolala, help. What do you need help with, Omolola? Because I don't think I think you guys are the one that will be helping me now, because I'm going to just leave the class for you guys to take it. Because it looks like so many people know the class more than I do. Okay. I'm really glad. I'm really glad with the test scores. You guys did really amazing. You guys did really well. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be your instructor. I'm so proud to have you all in this class, in the boot camp. I am sure that not just are you making me proud, but you're making yourself and so many other persons proud. I am so glad. Is it because don't worry. To Alaya, don't worry. You did amazing, but I would look. I It's not ethical, but I'll do my best to see how that can be um given to you guys. If it can be shared across with you guys, that would be really nice. I did not do the test and it's called D0. Oh, Toyosi, I'm sorry, but I definitely know that that's not the level of competence for you. I know you're amongst the 100 of 100 because you are very, very active and I trust what you can do. So, yeah, thank you so much. I'm so emotional right now. It's because of the level of like dedication from everybody and the results. It's really a sweet thing to know that uh my efforts and your efforts aren't wasted. It's really an amazing thing, and you guys are the best of the best. I am so happy to have you all. I would even call you my team. I won't call you my students anymore. I'll call you my teammates. I'm glad to have you guys as my teammates. Yeah. Martha, I am this is not product management class. This is project management class. So we'll do a quick recap so that we can be able to continue with our class and move on to better things and greater heights. So last we stopped at the importance of kicking off a meeting, having meetings. So we'll just read through and okay. Oh, Samuel, I'm so sorry. Inuobong, so okay, I'm so sorry that you were not able. For those that were not able to get the test, we will still share the link. We'll still share it. We'll still open it. We'll still open the quiz for those that were not able to take it, so that you can take it. We'll talk with the technical team, but next time do your best to make sure that you do it before the deadline. Do your best to do it before the deadline, but we'll definitely leave the test for those that were not able to get it across. We'll give you guys a grace as well. It was brought up to us that yes, a lot of persons didn't do that. I'm sure it was or it is reasons beyond your control. So we'll definitely consider those persons that did not write the test. But don't be offended. I'm sorry to those people that think I have been ignoring them because of they didn't take the test. But would work on you guys too as well. My apologies. Forgive me. So yeah, without further ado, I think we should go back to our class, if you do not mind. Am I forgiven? Please can you have a catch up? Okay. 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 Thank you for forgiving me. I'll believe you have. So we're going to start with importance of kickoff from the last class. Yes, we're going to start off from last class. Okay, okay. I'm coming. There's still a lot of persons that are complaining. Don't worry. We would we would release the. Thank you. We would release it, but let's focus on the class right now. The test was just it was just a quiz. It's a quiz for you to just attempt and for us to see the level of understanding and competence so far, and making sure that you're still carried along with us. We will definitely leave the link for those that haven't taken it. You understand? So don't worry. You're not forgotten. We will carry all of you along, and we are all going to be fine. Okay, thank you. So let's continue. Okay, so in order to get the project team working together quickly and efficiently, we strongly recommend that you hold a kickoff meeting as early as possible in the project. This meeting can last half day or a day and should address the following points. So in the last class, we were mentioning the importance of having meetings with your team members, having physical meetings or online meetings, depending on what the project or the work type is. If it's a remote job, if it's a hybrid job, if it's a physical on-site job, it depends. Because of how technology is evolving and people are looking for easier ways to work, and people are also considering their jobs and their employees, and also looking at costings and making sure that people are comfortable with flexibilities and healthcare and the likes of them. We have remote jobs whereby most of the meetings that people take now are mostly online. There are so many apps that persons use for this or softwares, the likes of Google Meet, the likes of Zoom, the likes of Stream. So many, so many. My personal favorite is Google. Google is my personal favorite because it's Google. So yes, but what is your favorite team meeting app or software? You can put or people can experience other apps. I'm always looking forward to finding other apps that work for me and also my teams that can be more efficient for me. So uh we have in a team meeting the teams, Google Zoom. We have introductions. When you have a meeting, introduction. What's the first thing about introduction? Introduction is you introducing yourself, everyone talking about who they are, where they are, what the project is about. And then we have presentation of projects, hence where presentations of the project, the scope of the project is made easier for people to understand and comprehend what the project is. It is the role of a project manager to brief everybody about the project and also the statement as well, which is the third point. So we have teamwork questionnaire, which is whereby you ask your teammates questions to know the level of competency, to know where they are at or where they're coming from, to know who is liable for the work, who to know how to allocate persons and the likes of them. It's more of a comprehension or more of a evaluation for you to help know where to point or navigate your team. Okay, I like the comment section. Microsoft Teams better. I don't know. I've never used Microsoft Teams though. I've just been a Google girl of almost like all my life. And I've used Zoom, but back to it. So we have conflict management questionnaires. This is whereby you know where people are, where their mind frames are, how they behave under pressure, cultural behaviors in the team space. Yes, we're doing a recap, Chioma. Slack is, I like Slack too. Funny enough, Slack has very funny bonding and communication like features. I keep debating in and out. Let's focus on class. So we have work breakdown structure for projects, WBS. But this is also like an evaluation whereby persons that have been allocated to handle some particular roles, which may involve outsourcing for. Can you hear me? My audio is off. Can you hear me still? Someone said my audio is off. Or is it from your end? Okay. Great. It's not from my end. Okay, great. So we have resource assignment metric for project. This is whereby like KPIs where you measure the um, the reports that you get from your teams, and also a pointer, an indicator to shows you the level of growth or challenges or problems that may be going on in the project, or make it easier for you as a project manager to handle the project with ease. It's just like a map for you, which is like the planning evaluation phase that we mentioned earlier in the first class of yeah, of planning, of project planning, the project planning evaluation template. So yeah, that's what we mentioned about resource assignment matrix. Thank you so much, Ishel. So network diagram of project. I mentioned this is whereby everybody that is involved in the project, it is in a chart whereby you can see everybody that has been allocated to the roles and every person that is linked to a role. Thank you, Fikayo. So the network just helps you to know how everything is supposed to move, from the head of team to the departmental to the managerial to the body, and then to resources and to suppliers. It's just more of an overview to help you to navigate and know who and whom and where and how. So yeah, it's like a visualization tool. Thank you very much. So we have network diagram of project. That's what I explained. Sorry, and we have agreement on culture, behaviors, and standards. I don't know why I'm always mixing those words together, but it's actually a thing. Cultural behavior in here, it's also divided, but it's a bigger body when you say cultural behavior. In culture, you can say how people talk, how people relate, how people behave, how a certain group of people behave, how a certain people talk, how a certain people communicate. Like how I mentioned in the last class, we said that that for cultural behavior, we have we're using a business body. For example, when you go to a music studio, you would notice that in a music studio, the formality is different. You get there and they're like, yo, what's up? They're like, hey, hi, what's going? What are gone? There's a lot of slang in use. There's a lot of freeness. There's a lot of expressions going on in the place, and just a lot. But if you go to a maybe let's say a hospital, you meet the nurse, they say hello, how are you? What's the problem? They start with hello, and then what seems to be the problem? They go directly to the point. What is your problem? What is your need? What is what is going on? Yes, yo, what a gone. Yes, that's not going to be the language in the hospital. They are much more professional. They're much more serious. Like, they are dealing with life, so they cannot have the pleasantries or the pleasure to be informal. They have to be formal. They have to be straight. They have to be direct. When you also go to a business setting, when you go for a conference meeting or you go for a business meeting, you can't just sit down and just be there. You first form of interaction, you start with hello, hi, my name is Nancy. You introduce yourself first. You can shake. It is most likely you shake the person, give a firm shake or smile, know where they're coming from, what organization are you coming from, or my name is Nancy, I'm coming from Lita Incubator. I am just an instructor. I want to know what you're up to. What do you work? What do you do? How do you go about your business? It's more formal. You're you're learning about what people are doing to make a change or to make better. So yeah, hi. It's actually formal in a way. When you're sending an email, you write hello or hi. Hello there, hi there. Depends. You can use hello, hi. It's more of good morning. That is very formal. Hi is hi formal? I don't think hi is formal at this point. No, hi is not formal, but it depends on how you use it. Yes, yes. Ajoke. Yes, Adijoke said, hi is like smart casual. Yes, it's smart casual. It depends on how you use it. Tonation too matters too as well. So that's where we can place it as behavior, tonation, body language, and the likes of them. And then standards, which is depending on where or how the communication or the feel of the room is. There are some business conferences or some business projects or even just interactions that you have to be very formal, you have to be very um, alert, and then there are some that you can be very relaxed and comfortable but still formal. It depends on the level of the room, and it depends on the people as well. So you should also learn how to uh, communicate and read people's body language and also have good emotional intelligence as well. Yes, hello, good morning is more formal. When you see hello, good morning in an email, just know that they want to just tell you their mind. Yes, Akiloye, just know that when it's like, hello, good morning. Anyway, just start preparing your mind for what basketballs may happen. So, yes, did not use hi in the Yoruba formal setting. Yes, never use hi or hello in a Yoruba setting, most especially elderly people. Elderly people, they will want you to use good afternoon, ma, good day, ma, good morning, ma, good afternoon, sir, good evening, sir. Don't go and be all hello and hi with elderly people. My dear, they will just look at you like you've run mad. The cultural shock can be overwhelming to them. So you can do your best to be you just know the people, read the body language like I mentioned earlier, and also decipher the room. You understand? That's how you can go about it. Okay, so yes, so it depends on the people. It depends. Not just it's not just even a Yoruba thing. I think it's everywhere. As far as you're Nigerian, as far as you're Nigerian and you're in an elderly people setting, even the houses, even the Igbos, they find it more appropriate when you use good afternoon ma, good afternoon sir, good day ma'am, good day sir, than hello or hi. You would find them, they will look at you like, does this girl know what she's here to do? Abi, did they not? Even though it's a formal meeting, or it's a formal setting where everybody's being professional, they'll look at you like you've lost all manners of respect for your life. You don't know what you're doing in this life. So you get, so just know the people, know the setting. Like I said, I've repeated this like 4 times now. So yes, there are a lot of things to say in the comments, so but we'll move on. So in the next slide, we have the work breakdown structure, which is the WBS that we mentioned. So it is a diagram that breaks down the work to be done. A work breakdown structure in the project. At the top, you enter the name of the project. Then on the second level, yellow in our diagram, you enter the top deliverable of the project. Make sure always to have project management as your first deliverable. Sorry, I have to be squinting. My glasses are not with me. So I'm just going to be all in my screen. I'm just waiting for the light to go down so that it doesn't keep reflecting and bouncing back on the screen. So yeah. The reason for this is that there are a lot of activities and work packages related to managing the project, and not just those related to the result of the project itself. Yes. Yes, idiota. Please, what's your name? I don't like this idiota. It seems so inappropriate. Yes. Uh, for the third and subsequent level, the question to ask is, what do I need to do to achieve the level slash box above? The most important thing to remember is that at the end of this exercise, you have all the work packages, and only the work package is necessary to produce the project results. You may find that a single work package in a WBS for one project manager can becomes a whole project for another project manager. Yeah, yeah, so true, so true, so true, Gloria. Gloria said, she's speaking to Sheung actually, that foreigner prefer you address them using their first name. Funny enough, foreigners really even prefer using hi or hello. Hi, hello is a much more universal language. If you talk to mostly the whites, if you get to talk to them like first on-site meeting and this is your first time meeting them or something, you tell them, you say hi or hello, they would delightfully look at you and be like, oh hello. Even the elderly, they would just like, oh hello. You understand? Because it depends on the tonation, how you say it. Like you can be like hi and they'd be like hi, but they tend to be much more responsive when you use hi or hello. I used to use a lot of hi and hellos, and they'll be like, "Oh hi," you understand? But not my Nigerian people. Mm-mm. Good afternoon, ma. Good day, ma. Hope you're fine, ma. I hope business is fine. God is with you, ma. God bless you, ma. Well done, ma. Respect is the key. So back to the work breakdown structure, which is how we mentioned that you're supposed to use the headers. The header is supposed to have, or the title of the project is supposed to have a title, which is, you could use PM, which starts with project management. You could use PM. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. You use PM. I used a real estate company last time. which is domain. So real estate domain. You can say PM real estate domain or domain. Then it's more advisable for you to use a noun, and then you could say house project. So PM domain estate house project. PM standing for project management, domain standing for the company, and then house for the major project for what the project is directly, and then house project, or you could just say house building or building project or home for elderly. It depends on how the project may be. So something like that. You could write PM, which is the project management, then domain, real estate, column, house, project, or elderly home. It's up to you. It's really up to you. Have fun with it, but just make it look professional. Yeah. So we also have the subsections, which is the deliverables. Under the deliverables, it's okay, idiota. I hope I'm pronouncing it right though. Idiota is my channel. Okay. But maybe you can log in with a different name, or you just once this idiot once you're just here, just write your name so that I can register it in my head. I know that I'm directly talking to you. I know that name, but it's a lovely name. I'm sure you have your specific reasons for that name, but then yeah, it's a very beautiful name for your amazing reasons that I would love to know along the way in class, but not now. We're focusing on class. We're doing our recap. So we have the project management, which is the main body of what we're here to do. And then we have building, which is one of the deliverables. And then we have services. We have services and we have finishing. So under project management, which is like the service that we are rendering, you have to be very specific in listing the deliverables of the project management, which is what are we going to be doing? Project planning and mitigating and evaluation and so many other things. So we have scheduling and funding as our as our work packages. You understand? I really hope you're understanding. Then we have building, which is the project that we're going to be working on. Building. We have floor and walls and roof. So these are some of the packages that will be listed under building. Things that will be needed in it, things that will be of necessity in the project, and the likes of them. And we have services, which is electricity, gas, and water. Then we have finishing, which is packer and painting, kitchen installations. We could also say grading. The diagram is not clear. Adiola. Uh, sorry, my background is noisy. Please, so sorry about that. What about now? Is it better? There was a lot of shuffling too from my end. I apologize. Okay, so can you see the diagram now better? Great then. Great. So yeah. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So we have WBS rules of thumb. So a rule of thumb is not a rule or a law. It's a strategy that we do because we know it works. So there is no rule as to the number of levels that a WBS has, meaning that from the work packaging, there are always going to be subsections, there are always going to be pointers, there are always going to be phases. So the WPS can have as much. Okay, let me take.
Okay, what about now? I'm so sorry. I kind of muted myself. I'm so sorry. I'm being a bit clumsy this night. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. I'm so sorry that you lost me for a minute. I apologize. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, so there is no rule as to the number of levels that WBS has. I'll go back like your steps. So meaning that in a WBS in a work breakdown structure, you can't have limited deliverables because like I mentioned though in the last class, your headers shouldn't be more than 10 though, but your steps and phases can go as much as you want to. You can go as much as down as it wants to in the diagram. Like for the project management, we have scheduling, we have planning, we have evaluation, we have reporting, we have resource allocation, we have you can also put departments, you can also put the managerial and the likes of them under your project management phase. And then under the deliverables, there's so many things that you're delivering as, a project manager. So that can go all down in subsections. Then in the likes of services, you can mention suppliers, you can mention water, you can mention gas, you can mention light, you can mention power is still the same thing with electricity. So it depends on how many things that are needed in the work structure so that it can go as down as much as it can be as much detailed as you would really want it to be. Just have fun and make sure that you're doing the right thing. You can okay, okay, everybody can hear me. Okay. Yes, I did okay. I think that's why Ajochike got that 70 at the 100 in her car in her test because she's literally coordinating the comment session to her and Chioma. They're constantly coordinating the comment sessions. So you have always starts with project management as the first deliverable, which is what I mentioned, because there are so many project titles because there's so many project titles and you don't want them to um, you're here to help their work make it easier. So the best thing you do is that you write PM, domain, real estate, column, column, um, building project or elderly project or school project or whatever project they may be working on, or we could write feed the children project or welfare project. It just depends. Like it's also mentioned that you can use a noun. You can make it to be a noun to make it much more easier for you to be able to make your work more direct or simple or easy to relate with. So we also have there should be more than there should be no more than 10 top level deliverables, which is
Ever felt like you were juggling unsung heroes?
hi, sorry, having technical difficulties here with the network. I apologize. It's from my end. My network just went silent on me. I apologize so much for the inconvenience. So we're just going to quickly continue. I'm sorry, like I mentioned again. So yeah, so we said each and every subcomponent must be assignable to one and only one person. So remember how I said you are allowed to know everybody in your team to help you to be able to deliver effectively and properly? Yes. You should have one person that that can constantly report to you from each department. In a project, I think you can have as much as 5 departments, depending on what project you're working on. If you're working on an event, I would, depending on what kind of events, let me give you one event that I work on. So I work with a fashion and art one of a fashion and art company brand rather. So we have like a lot of departments. We have the fashion department, we have the art department, we have the sound department, we have the graphics department, we have the welfare department, logistic administrative department, we have marketing department, we have performance department. There are lots of departments, so you cannot be handling every person in the body of those departments, because those departments have subsections too as well. They have a team, they have PAs, they have normal staffs under those departments. So you can't just be going to this department and having so many persons talk to you about one thing. Most of the time it can be insightful, but it's to some level it's unethical, because you would have so many points to work with when the head of department can just in a nutshell deliver a whole report about what everything is and what everybody has been working on in just 5 lines. So that saves you stress, that helps you to evaluate more, and that saves with time and also increases productivity and helps with decision making as well. So have make sure that your head of department is the only person that can report to you or send reports, not everybody in that department, not the body, because that helps you to also make the project tidy and reduces workload for your clients or your customers, depending on, like I said, what project you're working on. So no. Event planners are not are not project managers. No, not in the slightest of ways. Event planners help to organize the event. They help with like the chairs. They help with like the what do they help with? Yeah, they can help you with sound too. But the project manager is actually also even handling the event planner. As a project manager, you have to talk to the event planner and be like, okay, so how are you going to handle this? Who's your team? Who is delivering what? Are they handling the logistics, or we're handling the logistics? You understand? It's beyond that. It's beyond you event planning. You understand? It's beyond you event planning. You're doing more than the event planner. An event planner role is very big. I'm not undermining it. I'm just saying that you even have a role above that of an event planner, because it's not just the events at that moment you're worried about. You're worried about pre planning, on site or present planning, or during planning, and then post planning and evaluation and documentation. An event planner, her own or her role may just be to just deliver the goods, deliver the chairs, deliver the decorations, and make the place look beautiful, help in in measuring the place to know how they can set up. And at the end of the day, when the event is done, they just pack their stuff and go.
Ever felt like you were
Hi guys, I'm sorry. I do not know what's going on with this network today. Hopefully, we will be able to get out of here in good terms. But I don't understand what is going on with the network today. I apologize again. So, yeah, so we also mentioned, let me go straight into it. So, Oluwasikemi said, I said in the last class something about as a PM, everyone and everything is on your head. Yes, because why I said that is because yes, we're still doing recap. I'll soon be rounding up with the recap so that we don't have much slides left for today. So I would be able to cover everything on project planning today. But when I was answering what's her name again? Her question about everybody being your matter. Yes, everybody is your problem because if you cannot, if your head of department cannot handle your project, there is a loophole to it. So you have to make sure that in your project planning phase, even the head of department give you their breakdown and their evaluation and their report, and you need to know who are handling all these roles too as well. Like in the sounds, you know who is handling performance. Let's say there's head of performance and there's head of arts, right? So under head of performance and head of arts, they are going to outsource for musicians, right? They're going to outsource for uh, DJs that will have playlists. They're going to outsource for a host. So you have to know, like, okay, who are the persons that they are bringing? Is it in line with the events? Are we going to go and get a what are we called? What do they call them? Those people that have a talking drum player for the event. Is it going to bring light to our event if we have a talk drum player? Are we getting a trumpeter? Or we'll just get, plain old musicians? Are we going to get A-list musicians? Or we're going to just get our upcoming brothers and sisters to help us and we'll help them too in return? So, yeah. Okay, so we are going to go for a quick break because of your attendance is supposed to be by 8. So 1 more minute before I log out properly for you to take your attendance. So we have each component must have a deliverable. The lowest level of subdivision with a deliverable is called a work package. Remember when I said the whole package, and each deliverable is what we call a work package. Like for the project manager is scheduling, planning, evaluation, reporting services. We have water, lights, water, power, electricity. Uh, what is it again? Depending on the project, I just a lot of pointers depending on what project it may be. Then we have each and every subcomponent must be assignable to one and only one person, head of department, and do not break the work into a finer detail than you intend to track or is of value. Do not micromanage. This can be a bit contradicting because if I want to have a much clearer understanding of the project, I like to be spot on job. I like to get my hands dirty, so I like to micromanage. It's not required of me, but I do that regardless. But for some other project managers, they do not micromanage. They don't micromanage. They don't believe in micromanaging, and it's not really your role. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's not really your role, but it's more better for you to know that you are in the loop and you know everything. For me, I like to micromanage. But for as a project manager, You're just meant to work with the heads of departments and just work with reporting, and whoever is not handling their roles is on them. But maybe because of my level of uh of maybe how I've handled cases before, I tend to micromanage. But micromanaging isn't really your role. It's supposed to be the head of departments and the manager's role. So it's just an on the table and off the table. It's an on the table and off the table role. It's up for you to pick it because they are actually held accountable for their faults. But as a PM, it's your role. It's your project. So if it goes down, you feel bad regardless, and you have to take responsibility at the end of the day. No matter what, you still have to be the one responsible because you are the project manager and it's your name that's going to be there. So but that's just on me, but that's not the role. But that's on me though. That's just my own point. I'm gonna be as honest with you because like I mentioned, you're my team, so that's how I do mine. So do make sure to write down your pen down your names in the attendance and enjoy the break. See you soon.
Ever felt like you were juggling?
We take raw data, numbers, text, images, and we turn it.
Ever felt like you were juggling? Even a project manager.
So I'm going through I'm going through the what's it called? Comment section about project management, and a lot of people don't agree about micromanaging, and I really like uh the comments and I like the banter that is going on. I'm really, really excited about it. And Choma said we haven't covered anything from today's class. Don't worry, we are literally here. But then I wanted to mention about micromanaging. So I would love to give you guys an experience I had. One of my many project management stories. I had I still have an amazing team. I had an amazing team. We had a project to handle, and it was the day of the event, major event. We have guests from the country and out of the country and from other nations and the likes of them for this event, and an amazing thing happened. Our our head of performance build our head of performance build last minute. I didn't even know as the project manager that he was not even going to be on ground. I had to find out from the CEO that he was not going to make it because he had something and all. So the strain from that amazing um, um, decision from a very competent member of the team, though he later on had to apologize and all. He still brought in somebody though, but the person was not competent with the work. It was then the work or the role of the project manager now to now salvage the work of a performance manager that I do not even know completely everything about it. I am not great in the performance section or the performance department. I don't sing. Up performance that would come up for that event. I had to move in performers too that were not from that were not in the state, from a different state. I had to look for logistics to handle them down to the states. How it happened, I don't know, but it was just a miracle that happened that day. So micromanaging is not the role of a project manager, yes, because it can be exhausting, it's stressful, but it just helps you to just be in the know and be in the clear. That's just my point. But regardless, it's not your role. Like I said, it's just me it's just like a side thing for me where I like to still micromanage. It's a flaw, but it's something I enjoy doing because I cannot be caught unawares. You should not catch me unawares. You understand? But micromanaging isn't the role of a project manager because the head of department is meant to be accountable for that department and for that role. So, which is what Sarah too mentioned about you being able to manage everybody and managing just the heads, which is very right. And she mentioned something about you not being able to trust your team members. It's not about trusting your team members. I don't think it's you can trust your um, what do you say? You can't fully foresee problems that may happen in a project. You cannot fully see everything. You can do your best to handle. You understand? You can do your best to handle, but then there is so much that you cannot do too as well. That can be out of your control as a project manager. So we're going to move straight into Gantt charts and network diagrams. So under Gantt charts and network diagrams, he said once you have your list of low-level work packages, they should be sequenced into a network diagram and giving time estimates, time bound and the likes of them. Building the network diagram with your team is another of the key factors of project success. Remember to take only the lowest level posts, its work packages, and then reorganize them in a timeline from start to finish. We are looking for dependencies, what work needs to be done before I can start another work package, what work can be done in parallel, and we will also write the names of the responsible people on each of our work packages. So this is just all about like how Aditya says for weekly reports that could help. Okay. She's talking about micromanaging. Thank you. That has been, or that will be more of the resolution too. Thank you so much. I take your points as a very great one to help me along the way. So in Gantt and chart, this is whereby the packages, you understand packages and allocation with the team members, you have to you have to clearly reorganize timelines and have start and finish dates. You have to know you have to set up meetings like I mentioned earlier with your team. Everybody has to know their roles. Everybody knows the time that they're supposed to deliver. This it depends on the methodology that you choose to use this Gantt, but it really helps when everything is really uniform and everything is clear and crystal for you and your whole team to be able to understand the the time frame of the project, the resources that is needed, the services that will be needed, and the likes of them. Did the facilitator change? Don't worry, that was just the side gist of one of there's so many stories of being a project manager. So one of today's topic is once we have created a network diagram, we will start to use it to define two more critical success factors. Okay, Ajike said the third paragraph. Remember to take only the lowest level posts, its work packages, and then reorganize them in a timeline from start to finish. So from the lowest in the packages, let's say once you have your project planning list or your template, you would notice that from the head of department to the body and to resources and the likes of them, you would have to notice when you are supposed to have deliverables, right? You're supposed to have deliverables. Yes, I did okay as a diagram. You understand? Once everything is crystal clear, documented, and pinpointed in the diagram, you will notice that maybe you may be having a falter in supply. You understand? So you could then re-strategize or reevaluate and know which other supplier can help you to deliver in time, or you can also look for solutions to make sure that you can help handle logistics so that your supplies can get in time. So it's from what may be the least problems in this package that can be solved and at a very good time, being time bound. I hope that explains it for you. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. So moving forward, we said critical path, the path through the network where the tasks have no float. If any one of these tasks is even one day late, it will delay the whole project. These are the critical tasks. So yeah, this critical path, it means the problems, the loopholes. Like I mentioned, the traumatic moment I had in one of my events or projects that I was handling. You can miss a step, or one person can falter, and this can cause like critical problems to your project. But with a very good team and with good decision planning or decision making, and you being in a clearer state of mind, you can be able to salvage the project in very good time. So that is also critical path too as well. So if if you have any leftover tasks, you understand, that may seem to be a challenge, or in your re-evaluation you notice that there might be some glitches somewhere that you are not very sure of, it's very wise for you that as a project manager you can think fast, you can work with your own resources, and you can try your best to salvage the project and make sure that the project reaches its goal. So if you notice too as well in the video that they played, they said that as a project manager you are meant to handle chaos. So that is just pretty much what critical pattern is too as well. It's you trying to handle chaos. So we have floats. These tasks that and those tasks that are not on the critical path, we have more flexibility in when we can start them. There is room for maneuver. So it depends on which of the methodologies you use to as well. You can use agile, you can use hybrid, you can use sorry, this is more of agile. I'm so sorry. For float, this is more of agile. It depends on whether you have been using agile at this point. Have you been doing other tasks, and this task is not going to be too much of a problem? Will it be it won't be a problem if you leave it afloat, if you don't handle it ASAP? Is it something that even after the event it can still make the project to reach its success? So yeah, that is just critical path and float in your diagram. So we have duration versus effort. Remember that duration is not the same as effort. In the network diagram, please enter duration. This is the time a task should be this is the time a task should take to be completed in an ideal situation. Creating the network diagram is an interactive process. Once you see the length of time the project lasts is an ideal world, you then start to take reality into consideration. We have 1, number of people; 2, weekends, holidays, and multitasking. So in your duration, and like we mentioned as well, time bound. Every project has to be time bound. Every project has to have a timeline. Every project has to have a duration. Every project has to have a phase, and each phase has to have a time limit for each phase, right? To help you. It depends on how flexible the project is or how rigid it is, but it is a necessity as a project manager for you to have a timeline so that everybody can still be updated and the process can reach a certain amount of uh, good result or a high level of success. So in creating the network diagram, it's an interactive process. Once you see the length of time the project lasts in an ideal world, you then start to take reality into consideration. How many people are you going to be using in the project? Is it something that you have to outsource for more persons? Are you going to look for volunteers? Are you going to look for interns? Is it something that when Christmas time comes, you have to look for extra people that will come and take in the roles because a lot of persons are planning to take the holidays? You understand? Or is it on a weekend? Will my staff be able to make it this weekend? My staff just gave birth. Will she be able to make it? Do I have to outsource for somebody? What are the holidays like? 1st of October, is it a good time for you to be throwing an event or for you to be having a seminar or for the workers to come to the construction site to work? Is it ethical? You understand? Is everybody going to be fine with the fact that it's a holiday and they're coming to make extra and they're coming to work? Is there going to be incentive attached to all of this? If you make sure that they're going to get maybe 10% increase in their salaries for coming in the office during the holidays or during the weekend or the likes of them, how many persons are going to be available so that you can make sure that this project reach a good success? This really helps too as well. Duration could really depend on effort. Yes, yes, it also depend it also relies on efforts too as well. How are your team willing to work? How are your team willing to work on the project? So if you say you get your staffs to say if you get your staff to okay, so let me use a plain example. Let's say on Christmas Day. Raise of hands if you know you will be able to work on Christmas Day. Not everybody here would want to work on Christmas Day. You understand? And let's say our event is going to be on the 27th. Not much people would really wish to work on, let's say the deadline is 26th and 25th is Christmas, right? Or let's make it 28th and 25th is Christmas. How many of your team members will be able to come to the site on 25th, being Christmas Day, leave their family, and come and work for you? Is there going to be attached to it? So you have to consider all of this. Is this something that you have to make your staffs to come into the to the space maybe by 23rd and 24th, or you're going to leave it by 26th? That okay, once Christmas break is over everybody has to be in the office, and how sure are you that everybody is going to be in the office? That is whereby you can then put incentives or you can put rewards on such holidays and the likes of them for you to plan how to give them more. Oh, I'm so sorry, bless him. It doesn't sound pretty to work on Christmas Day. Don't worry, I'm sure this year will be different. So you get to let them know that if you work on this day you get extra cash. That can be something they could think, okay, extra cash on Christmas won't be a bad thing. I could just still work and get my money, and by the 28th of the day of the event everything still goes smoothly. You understand? So you have to also know how to make your team to be passionate about your project too as well. So yeah, Sarah also said the effort you put in something determines how long that thing will take. Effort equals work, more work, less time to wrap it up. Yes, so it depends on the team too as well that you have on this project. If you get lazy persons or you get persons that are not what's the word, are not dedicated or are not having the same vision as you are, it can be a very big burden to you as a project manager because they are not delivering their end of the bargain. They're not delivering their roles and all. So it can be very tasking, and this can lead to a a strained deadline, or you going or you exceeding the deadline that you have. It depends on how professional they are on the project. So yeah, we have we're almost on those slides today. So we can use several tools to visualize our project information. Some project managers use MS Project or other scheduling tools, Primavera. Others use simple Excel sheets. It is important to clearly define the project tasks and to show them in a timeline in relation to one another in order to see if the project is realistic. A Gantt chart is extremely useful as a communication tool, and if you put a vertical line on today's date, you can see what has already been achieved and what still has to be achieved. We prefer to show the what is this? Milestones within the Gantt within the Gantt charts. So yeah. So as a peer manager, there are a lot of softwares you could use. What software do you use? I use Excel. I use Jira. I use Slack. I use my AI, which is my trusted bestie too as well. I use the PowerPointer to help in creating my charts, and I love using Canva. Canva is my best friend too as well. It helps to make your yeah, pretty much it. Slack too. So yeah, you can no audio. You can't hear me. To Scrum. I use more of Sheets and Google Apps because it helps me to sync with my team. I have a way that I sync all of my teams. Okay, thank you so much. So I have a way where I can sync my team into my calendar. I have a way I can sync them into their tasks as well, whereby everybody's updated and they get their alerts and their alarms on. You still not hearing me? Hold on, talk today. Yes. Oh wow. Adejoke, you look like you're a Microsoft girl. That's really nice. That's really amazing. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, a lot of people can hear me now. Thank goodness. So yeah. So it depends on what tool you're comfortable with. I started using Scrum along the way, I had to deviate and use others because, some of them were much more easier for me. Some of them, amen, Omota Sola, amen, you will not lose my voice. Yes, so a lot of times like that, you along the way you tend to use other apps and other softwares. You find so many softwares out there in the internet. There's some that I used like two earlier in my project management years. I can't remember. I used two earlier when I started project management. God, I used Monkey Chimp too. Was it Chimp Monkey? I've used a lot of software, so that's it's safe to say. But along the way, you get better and much more tailored preferences as a project manager on what tools to use. They're very easy ones you can go about. There are also ones that are a bit complex that still give you very good features. It just depends on your preferences and what you like. Or connect more with you. Don't worry, along your project management journey, you will find so many softwares along the way because every day people are constantly creating new project and new softwares to make things easier. So I pray and hope you find yours. So Sarah, is there a part in this course where we would be taught some of the software used in project management? Sure. Sure. Is there a part in this course where we be taught some of the software? Yes. You would be. But it's much more advisable that as a project manager, you stick more to scheduling. And some of these softwares aren't really that complicated to use. So don't worry, we'll get there. Then in our next slide. So this is one of the charts. Yeah, so this is like a chart that you can use, a Gantt chart that you can use in order to be able to track your projects. So as you can see, this is tax. These are the sidebars. You have tax 1, tax 2, tax 3. If you can see, there are what do you call this shape? Oh my goodness. Let's say diamond shapes. Diamond shapes, and we have square bars, rectangle bars, and then we have the network diagram. So these are Gantt charts for you to be able to, track down your project. Some of them come with dates and deadlines and descriptions. Gemma, you can't see my screen. Okay. So in this chart, you'll see tax 1, tax 2, tax 3. So you'll see start and review, then approve. That's all in tax 1. There could be in this chart, there could be dates, there could be description, and there could be timelines. So we can see that the first tax has already been clicked, so meaning that it has been filled, it has been done. Then approve. Have you approved it yet? Depending on the time frame on the calendar and how you set your Gantt to look like. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about the network today. I'm really sad about this. I'm sorry that you guys are going through this today. So this is the Gantt chart. It shows that this is more of like the time frame. For it to be long, it is clear that the time frame is really long. There is a time frame for each of the tasks. And then for the network diagram, we have 1, 2, 3. So you could say that the first one could be the first step, the second step, the third step. You can do either the third and the fourth step together, or you can move down to the fifth step. It depends on how the flow of the network in the roles or the phase maybe. So it depends. It really depends. Don't worry, we'll get back. So this is a Gantt chart, a chart in which a series of horizontal lines show the amount of work done or production completed in certain periods of time in relation to the amount planned for those periods. So this, looking at this might look messy to you. Yes, this may look very messy to you, but um as a project manager, this is actually to some level clean work. This is actually a very clean Gantt, whereby in the first column we have work package. We have work package A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Yes, Sarah, it looks complicated, but it's not that complicated. And then we have responsible. I would have really loved this sheet to be well arranged. Then we have duration. For work package A, we have 4 weeks as the duration. It's not a lot, Choma. It's actually very self-explanatory. For you, the headers, we have work package, responsible, and duration. Responsible, I think that is where you put like the names of the persons allocated to those roles, and then the duration is the time frame. We could say for the 4, it could be 4 weeks, 3 weeks for package B. For C, we have 5 weeks. For D, we have 3 weeks. For E, we have 7 weeks. F1, G, 6 weeks. H, 2 weeks, and I, 3 weeks. Let's say so. In a nutshell, this project is going to be for 2 months. So Irene said this looked like I played Sudoku. So yes. So if we look at the chart, you would see that in the first week, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say in the first group of A, the numbers are for the weeks. We've already settled that it's 2 months, right? So the first is going to be for 7. We're going to calculate it for 7, right? Let's say 1 to 7 is the first week. Then let's say from 1 to 0, there is an extended dating. Let's say we started earlier. The interlapping boxes mean it's as simultaneous, right? No. We have from 1 to 0, and the time frame is for 7 weeks. The belief is that we are going to let me speak small pidgin. As bad, we have extra 3 more weeks. If in case the problem does the project passes the time, the deadline. And then we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This can be said we have been able to handle it before our given time. This is you reversing back. You understand? Did we do this? So from 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, we have 1 to 09 to as well. Then to 1, 9. Then from 0, we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Why are we writing 6, 7, 9? I'm even lost in the comment section at this point. So this is something we'll definitely get into. We need chalkboard, please. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as you think. It's just an example for you to just work with. You understand? It's just an example for you to just work with. So let's say the project is going to be for, like we said, 2 months, right? And let's say we get in our roles done before the first week. In the first week, we were able to handle all our tasks, before the 4th, and then the deadline is 6th and 7th, meaning that we were not able to meet up to it, right? What is this number code meant for? Okay, this is going to take a whole lot of time to explain. Let me try and simplify it. Let's say 1 to 9 is the first week, right? Out of 7 weeks that we're planning for this project. And then we say 0 to 1 to 9 is the second week. Let me do it like ABCD. Let's just do it this way because this is more advanced, the way I was explaining earlier. Let me try simplifying it in easier way. Let's say 1 to 10, which is this part, is the first week. And then 10 to 20 is the second week. And then 20 to 26 is the third week, right? Yeah. So what is the problem? Let's say we have been able to handle week A perfectly without problems. We've been able to handle all the tasks that we need even before the deadline. Let's say before week 3. Let's say this is week 1, week 2, and week 3, right? And in A, we have 1 to 4 to 4, meaning that we were able to handle it even before the deadlines. The deadline is 6 and 7, right? Even though we're not being realistic about it, it's no longer, I don't understand. Okay, can you see my pointer? Can you see my mouse? Not at all. Goodness me, I feel so sad about this. Okay, so how about we take our time? Because I'm doing my best to really explain this Gantt, and I can see that it's a bit of a challenge for us this night. Okay, so let's it's a bit challenging to see that we are not understanding this. I'm so sorry. The end of the week is where we yes, let's say the end of the week have the darker lines. The end of the week is the one with the darker lines. We have 7 weeks, right, to prepare for the project. And the first week, we have been able to handle it all clearly in number 4, right? We have been able to clearly handle it before week 4. Let's say from 1 to 4, we handle everything. Our results are in, our reports are in, even before 6 and 7, right? And then we come back to 3 and 4. We still have to reevaluate the project. We still have to reevaluate the project. And still revisit it. Is it something that we have to do again to make sure that we get the same results? Fine. That is why we still have empty boxes, and then we still come back again to reevaluate it on 2.0 and 2.1. Is this very did I explain it easier now for you guys? So yes, that is what I'm trying to explain now. So in number 3 now, right? Oh my goodness, I'm so sad. We're just going to use A as an example. How about I use A as an example? When I use A as an example, we have duration, which is 4 weeks, or let's say 4 days. No. I'm going to just stick to the example I have going on for me. So we said we have duration 4 weeks, and let's say we were able to handle all of the tasks that we need to handle for 4 weeks under duration A in 1 week. So we have been able to handle it, and then in 6-7 we revisit it, and in 3-4 we revisit it, and in 0-1 we revisit it. Adejoke said, does that mean there is no workflow from week 1 to end of the week? Or do 1 week reevaluate and redo it all through? Yes. Okay, yes. Yes, I think we're getting somewhere. There is the workflow is that everything was able to be accomplished in week 1. Rather than the set amount of time for this, which is 4 weeks. We have been able to handle it in the first week. Do you understand? Instead of 4 weeks, we were able to handle it in the first week. And we evaluated it on the 6th and 7th, still came back and evaluated it on 3rd and 4th, still came back and evaluated it on 0 and 1. So we could say that in this place we used more of a agile or hybrid methodology. 1 to 7, okay, 8 to 4, let's say week 1 to 7, week 1, yes, 8 to 4, week 2. 5, Teresa, I'm not even understanding yours. 1 to 7 for week 1. Yes. 8 to 4. Yes, Teresa, I'm understanding you now. Then 5 to 1 for week 3. Yes. Teresa, you got it. The faint shades that you do stand for. What did the faint shades? These are the timing that we were able to accomplish this task. The faded shades are where we were able to accomplish the task. The time frame we used to accomplish the task. The time frame that we used to accomplish the tasks. If we finish all in the first week, we have a Gantt chart prior to the. Yes, I did. Okay, that means if we finish all in the first week, we can't have a Gantt chart prior to the project. No, this is the Gantt chart in a nutshell. This is it. Like, this is it explaining itself. The workflow, because you've already ticked the already done process of everything. And so it's just a visualization to show you that this is the work that has been done. Jennifer, okay. I thought boxes were just numbered 1 to 26. 4 weeks. I'm completely lost. Okay. So we're almost done for this class, and this is actually like what we're supposed to like talk about, because let's discuss together and then you get your assignments, because this is the end class for it. So but I'm going to take my time again and do this Gantt chart one more time. We would finish in a week, so we slated it for 4 weeks. Sorry, I'm trying to get it, please. Okay, so you know how in a project, like I mentioned, you're always constantly supposed to have deadlines, right? So, like I mentioned, each phase, let's say phase A now, that we're going to be using as an example. Phase A duration is supposed to be for 4 weeks, right? And then in the first week of the phase, the team is active. The team have been able to get all their suppliers in check. They've gotten all the materials. Let's say we estimated that for the project being 7 weeks, which is 2 months. But because of we're time bound, we then decided that, okay, we're going to try to get resources for week A in 4 weeks' time. Let us make it realistic that we get everything in 4 weeks' time. But then let's say the team is so efficient and the effort in the team is remarkable. And then everybody in that team works on their resources, works on logistics. We're able to get our suppliers in time. Let's say the planners, the architects, everybody has already gotten everything that we needed in 4 weeks' time in the first week. So we then tick it in our time, in our chart, that instead of this project taking us 4 weeks to get all of these supplies, to get all of this man labor, in order to get all the packages, yes, to get all the work packages in 4 weeks, we were able to get it done in the first week because of efficiency and good communication and great teamwork. So, in the first week, we were able to handle this case. So, in the first week, we were able to handle it. And by 6th and 7th, there was a report, a re-evaluation. There's a report on 6th, and by 7th, we did an evaluation with the team. Let's say 6 and 7, we had it sitting down with the team and we re-evaluated. We said, okay, the supplies we got are good enough. We can start building. That is good report, right? Because everything is now clear. We have put the time frame for 4 weeks and we got everything in 1 week done. Okay, great. So what was the challenge we faced? What was the problems? We didn't face any challenge. We didn't face any problems. Our suppliers got us the product in time. So meaning we can start production. Great. We start production. You can then move to the next stage, right? Because you have nothing holding you down not to be able to do your tasks anymore. You can then move to the next phase. Yes, second week. Yes, 8 to 4 is the second week. Let us take it slow. Yes, yes, it represents weeks. It represents weeks. We're using it as weeks. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to attend persons. A float of 2 weeks or days depends on the duration we're using. Yes. Queen, why are you running from class today so early? So in phase A, the duration is 4 weeks. We have 4 weeks to get, let's say, the supplies to start the building. But because of efficiency, because of we have a good budget and we got a good supply and everything is set and ready for us to take up, we decide that, okay, from 6 to 7, we have gotten everything. We do not need to wait till week 4 before we start production for the next phase. We can then move to phase B. It is the 8th week. Don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting there. So in week B, in phase B, we have 3 weeks for this project. And since we have been able to do everything in the first week, we then decided that, okay, let's go down to week B. Let's go down to phase B and start working on phase B so that we can make sure we meet up to the deadline. Oh my goodness. So let me take this again. Week A, we have 4 weeks for this project. And from what we have here, which is 1 to 4, we were able to get all our tasks done even before the week ran out. And then we then decided that, sure, since we were able to get everything in the clear, let us move straight to week B, to phase B. Coming down to phase B, we decided to start art. the fifth day of the week, because we have nothing holding us back. We have no challenge, we have no problems. So we move to the next phase. And once we're in the next phase, we then decide, okay, let us go ahead. And how long is this taking us? The first phase took us just 4 days in the week, in the first week, to be able to handle this. Let's move to the second week. Let's still finish up with phase B in that week until the next week. As you can see, it slowly starts going into the second week, which is, we have 7 days in a week, right? We have 7 days in a week. Clearly, we have 7 days in a week. So because of we were able to finish early in that week, we then move same that week to the next week, which makes us to enter week 2, which starts from 8 to 9. The work package A was completed in 4 days, excluding weekends, which was 6 and 7, yes, Saturday and Sunday. B was done in 3 days, excluding Wednesday, 6 and 7, Saturday and Sunday, and so on. Yes, Teresa gets it. I really hope we all get it too. Because it's just in a nutshell saying phases that we were able to exceed. We then decided to move to the next stage. It's really that simple. We started this stage. We started phase A, and phase A was so easy and successful. We moved to step B. Step B took us 5 days to be able to handle it, and we kept on moving. We're still good in time. We have 3 weeks to be able to handle phase B, but we're able to succeed it and still handle it in the first to second week. In week C, we have 5 weeks as our time frame for duration. But because of how effective we are and good in the team, we were able to do week 2 completely and enter little of week 3. Thank you, Choma. I'm so glad you're slowly getting it too. You've gotten it too. Phase B and E started on the same time. So yes, so it is clear that the methodology that they used here is agile. Meaning that whilst they were handling phase A and B, they looked at the chart and said, okay, phase E can be done at a very flexible time too. Why not, while phase C and D is being handled, why can't we just do week phase E while we're doing phase B? It shows the flexibility in this chart, that there is a flexibility in the project, meaning that other projects were going on, other phases were going on, but we still came back and do other phases. They were still handling, if you notice in B and E, these 2 phases started at the same time, meaning that there was flexibility in the project, meaning that these 2 phases were handled, even though in different time, in different sections, but in the same time. They were happening in the same time, thereby saying that the project is a flexible project. The methodology they used in this is agile. The project being time bound, but still making sure that we are still effective to deliver the success of the project. Yes, we could say the darker shades are weekends. They're just normal days of the week, but then they are weekends. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, and we have 3 weeks here. So we can clearly state that even before the 7 months, the 7 weeks being the target time for this project, the 7 weeks being the target time for this project, it is clear to say that in 3 weeks, this project was able to be done before the 7 week, meaning or showing or signifying efficient and great project success. Thank goodness you get it now. Because it was a bit challenging trying to explain it. Great. Great. I am so glad we're getting this. It wasn't tough, Choma. It was just most likely from my end. I should have been more meticulous with you guys, but I'm so glad that you've been able to catch up and understand it. Great. We will still recap this in the next class, but you will be assigned assignments for you to peruse in your own good time. Yes. Yes. I know, Lua. I'm so glad you're seeing it now. It's really clear. It's that you were able to meet up to deadline rather than exceed your deadline. You started in good time and you ended in good time. Yes. So it's meant to be graphical. So you should also understand visualization is you seeing a chart. It's not you reading like how we have been reading all through the process till now. You have been reading all through. Now that you can see it clearly, you know the methodology that is used in this. You know the time frame that has been used in this. You know the time that you have been able to accomplish it, and you know the time frame that is ahead of you. So you are able to give a very clear and meticulous and precise graph of the project flow. This is also showing the project flow and the project success. So without further ado, I pray and hope by the next class we all get it and understand it. So good night, everybody. I'm glad we all got it, and it's great. See you all in the next class. Have a great one, and bye.